Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. So, before we begin, I of course want to give a shout out to the coffee shop gang. I'll have all their info in the description, of course. Just check them out, make great content. You have some collabs down the line, especially with your favorite villain. I have one coming up. Spicy. I'm doing Star Brand. So that's going to be great. But going back to the video, I have kind of a new one. I want to call it like a transitionary vid. It is so if you look back, there are many villains within Batman comics, like going way back, that were forgotten. Very abstract yet interesting, funny. Kind of just robbers who were just kind of not given credit. They were just kind of vanishing from just recent comics. And I just thought one day, what if you just took a collection, just like let's say a quad, and they just got pissed off. They wanted to go to Hell's Kitchen and pull off a heist with all the banks and the riches. So I'm going to introduce four of the trippiest, most forgotten Batman originated villains, and you guys in the comments with my pinned comment will choose which two will transition to the next video on who has the most success in pulling off a heist against the likes of Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and if it gets real spicy, Luke Cage and Iron Fist might pop up. So let's begin. So the first out of the four options you guys have to choose from would be Dr. Double X. So he was first stated to be the fastest opponent Batman had ever witnessed thus far, and is able to immobilize opponents with his energy charges. His clone is able to appear out of smoke as a form of teleportation. His energy outputs can melt metal or charge it up with enough power to blast Batman and Robin onto their asses. He easily blitzes the Batwing and proceeds to apply an EMP charge onto it to lock it down. He can fly fast enough to catch pre-crisis Soups off guard, where he can hit hard enough to make Soups feel it, and his energy blast can temporarily render Soups completely blind and helpless for a certain time. He can throw with Soups for a period and tank his laser vision point blank. Stated that when at full charge, his clone would have enough power to take down Soups. So keep in mind his clone does need recharging, and the more charge he gets, the more powerful he is, obviously. So fresh out, he is a monster, but he does kind of deteriorate. And speed-wise, he can keep up with the Flash and tag him mid-pursuit. He is then able to tag and KO Flash again while Flash was dodging with no chill. And even when caught off guard and jumped on first by Batman, his clone is always resourceful enough to quickly react and one-shot Batman with whatever's nearby. So that is your first option in Dr. Double X. So your second possible recruit will be that of Polka Dot Man. So I know with the second Suicide Squad, they're now introducing him, so yeah, everyone knows. But be real, before that, no one had a fucking clue who he was. If you did, big respect. And he was honestly one of my favorites in Detective Comics since he's fucking hilarious and kind of OP. So basically, he has dots which can mold on the fly accordingly. In this case, buzzsaws to cut the curtain down and trap the duo. This can show he's a fair marksman in the act. Later on, he pulls another dot, which can provide him a large flying saucer that he can control with what appears to be telepathy. He has other dots to throw, which can turn into literal fucking suns. Also, each dot automatically disappears after a short time, left to prevent being taken, and is regrown already on his suit again, so he can kind of spam them after a while. If he's about to be jumped, he can kind of put himself, as well as others, if need be, in a seemingly impenetrable bubble to float away. It's like a better way to like gloat rather than like the saucer, you could say. Then he holds like more flexible dots, which can turn into whatever's most convenient at dishing damage with the amount like that are thrown. In this case at Robin, it's like a bunch of fists which like punch him, like the shit out of him. You just love to see it, don't you? And lastly, just like Robin can't catch a break. Like Polka Dot Man has like just more flexibility, and he has sleep impact dots, which he's able to throw fast and precise enough to catch a fleeing Robin like straight to the face. He just keeps him as his hostage easily for Batman to, of course, rescue with his genius intellect. So that is your second choice in Polka Dot Man. So your third possible recruit would be that of Crazy Quilt. Yeah, I know. You probably haven't never heard of him before. So a single look into Crazy Quilt's beams severely hinders all of your perceptions and gets worse over time. You can basically just see them run into the fucking wall like idiots. And then, yeah, later on in the comic, they just are just on the ground, like, what is happening? He states his blast can level hospital-sized structures to ash with ease. He can completely camouflage objects using color mixings of his beams, almost more so like erasure, since like the doctor was running straight at the door when it seemingly just vanished. That would be like a big if true moment. He can also set traps which make people like sleep, so that's a bonus. On another occasion, he just beat the living shit out of Robin without putting out like much effort at all. He was just like shit talking him the whole entire time. You just love to see it, don't you? So Robin states on another occasion that his beams are just capable of tearing one's mind to literal pieces in like a split second. That's what happened to Robin on one occasion. So basically, Crazy Quilt has like a hate boner for Robin. They have like a rough past since, they've been taking each other down for a while. And then lastly, the Crazy Quilt can fire off like continuous head lasers, which can like tag and hinder Batman. So yeah, he has really potent lasers, as well as other miscellaneous, missiles and such. So yeah, that is your third option in Crazy Quilt. What a man. Okay, so your last possible recruit would be that of Spellbinder, and this guy is a bit of a doozy. So he can use his body to almost instantly spin fast enough to cause illusions in the forms of like bad dreams. He isn't required to spin constantly for the dreams to pursue. He can just like ditch once like they're well in it, and these dreams last a while. It was stated by Batman's doctor and later confirmed by Batman that who is ever in like the dreams or like illusions warrant like deadly consequences, primarily the end result being death. So Spellbinder doesn't have to go like full body spin mode if he's not feeling like the mood for it. He's able to just like cast equally effective illusions through trinkets, let's say just like a shitty toy propeller, on a whim. This dream with the toy propeller nearly killed Batman if it wasn't for Robin coming in the clutch for once. So Spellbinder is also efficient at setting up illusion-causing traps, which don't require any physical exertion. One here being a toy rocket blasting up with an illusionary propeller already spinning. He's quite skilled in like preparations. In his first ever encounter with Soups, Spellbinder had built like a super shock absorbing chin guard, which protected him from an invisible super speed sock to the face. In response to this, he wasn't even phased. He just cast a simple illusion on Soups, which like worked like a charm. After this, he continued just like play with Soups, like mind hacking him, just like and then whack him around as he made like an easy getaway. As you can see here, he just like played with him like candy. He can later throw hands with Soups as he brain melts him into literally not believing he had any powers. He just felt powerless and acted that way, like through the whole fight, through this illusion, which is pretty OP. Soups even thought he was hurt when he got shot for a little. And keep in mind, this was right after Soups said he strengthened his hypnosis resistance game. So either that was a fat fucking fail, or Spellbinder just doesn't play around. So Soups ended up having to wear sensory pluggings, lol, and resort to mouth reading to take out Spellbinder. He also has his last resort sonic whammy blast if he ever gets defeated. And lastly, he can pick and choose how many people and who are trapped within his dreams to best suit his scenarios with his optic skills. So that for you is Spellbinder, your fourth and final option of the four. You have to pick two. So to conclude, those are your four options of what you must pick two. They are all very potent in their own rights, of course, their own skill sets, powers, etc. I'll leave a pinned comments in the comment section with, the four of them. Like which two you want to think you'll have the best heist with. You can either be like the two you think will have the best connection with each other, or just the two you think are just the most OP straight out. Whichever ones you think might reach Luke Cage, Danny level, attention. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Be sure to put your likes down on the pinned comment section so I know which ones you guys want for the part 2, where they'll face off in Hell's Kitchen. And yeah, until then, peace out everyone.